first of all, let's give a big warm welcome to Itch Samuel Ireland. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Samuel. He is an actor based in Perth. He has studied theatre at Curtin University, has a Bachelor of Arts degree. He also studied at the WA Academy of Performing Arts, also known as WAPA. That's where Hugh Jackman studied, so he's got a bright future ahead of him. He has appeared in some short films, and Itch is Samuel's first TV role, and what a fantastic job you have done. Let's now welcome Jack, her real name, Melanie Wozniak. Now, Melanie made her TV debut when she was just 12 years old on the SBS drama Air Australia. She's featured in some short films. She's also been in a feature film called Before the Dawn and has also starred in an American short film. And again, you have a very bright future ahead of you. Well done to you. And the youngest cast member is Keala Kern, who plays the annoying younger sister, Chloe. Now, this is Keala's first major TV role, but she has been acting for some time. Her role on a short film called My Name is Grace actually won her the Best Under 18 Actress at the Hollywood International Moving Pictures Film Festival. So people are noticing Keala. That is a great achievement. She's also had a support role in a feature film called Third Night. And this is my favourite bit of trivia about you. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? You were shortlisted as 11 on Stranger Things. She was down to the final few. Millie Bobby Brown. So, again, people overseas are looking at you as well. So three very, very talented people here to answer your questions. My first question is, how do you make a noise grenade?
Oh. You could look it up on YouTube, but I don't know how much parents would like that.
Well, first of all, how old are you?
I am 13.
So you're year 9?
Year 9, yes.
Okay, so you're a full-time student, and then for a time you were a full-time actor. How did you do schoolwork and work?
Well, when I was on set, I was there for about 6 weeks maybe, and I'd come and go to Albany, to Perth, and during that time when I was in Albany, I'd have tutoring maybe every second or third day, and I'd do that for 3 hours while I was maybe not on set at one point or even on set. So yeah, that's basically how it worked.
And did you find it hard keeping up with schoolwork?
It was...
Because I imagine you would rather be on the set, right?
Definitely, yes. It was all right, but I think it was definitely a bit harder to keep up with everything, both school and Itch, so yeah.
Now, Samuel, the character of Itch, are you anything like Itch? And did you have a say in the kind of character that Itch would become? Do you get to have some say in how he develops?
Yeah, well, I think I relate to Itch a lot. Not necessarily in all the same ways, but I was quite awkward when I was younger, getting into primary school, into high school, and acting was kind of my science for Itch, where it's kind of the way he develops and feels confident about himself and is able to express himself, and acting was kind of how I did that. I used to be very awkward, probably still am. And I was given, heaps of creative control over the character. It was really, really wonderful. I kind of got to feel him out and explore. We had about 10 days down in Albany before we started filming, where I just got to play around, and Renee Webster, the director of the first block, who's over there, the first 5 episodes, deserves a round of applause.
Stand up so we can see you.
Did amazing work, and she was so supportive of me. I'm used to theatre acting, not screen acting, so she really helped me ease into it and helped me find the character and, let me go crazy with him.
And so how would you do it? Would you, just to give us an idea, when you are doing those 10 days of rehearsals, do you say, look, actually, I think Itch would do this rather than this, or say this rather than this?
It's like a matter of negotiating with the director, of course, and finding a kind of a middle ground which you both agree on works for the character. And also it's just, you work through it. You have rehearsals of scenes, and then you, in your downtime, think about the character. Renee had me recommended I do an experiment. She suggested putting salt in water. So I went home and I had a bunch of sugar sachets in my apartment, and I was like, I'll try this. So I started pouring sugar sachets in and stirring them to this cup of water. And I was like, I'll see how many I can put in before the sugar stops going in. And it turned out it was like 40. It was way, way, way too many.
But then you drank it.
I did drink it. I had to.
Yeah, see,
It's a lot of hard work.
The things you do for
A lot of
role.
things you do. So weird things like that too.
Now, we've been asking, people on social media have also been asking some questions, and there's a great one here for you, Melanie. Did you have to learn karate?
Yeah.
So you've never done karate before?
Well, I never did taekwondo or karate growing up, but interestingly, I auditioned for Power Rangers, the TV show, and I got called back. I got to the callback stage for it, and they expected to have all the actors to have taekwondo experience because they weren't bringing on stunt people. So I had 2 weeks to up my taekwondo skills, which was at 0. So I had to go from 0 to like 100 really, really fast. So I learnt taekwondo heavily in that stage.
So did you actually get an instructor?
I did, yeah. I was in LA at the time and I had a one-on-one coach. And then when I came back to Perth, I had another one-on-one coach. And that was amazing because I think that taekwondo is beautiful. So I was so glad to learn it. But I didn't get it, clearly. But it just kind of went to show, which was beautiful because then Itch came through and Jack had, she was a brown belt in taekwondo. And it just goes to show that sometimes when you don't get something that you want or that you expect, something else comes through that's honestly even better. So I took those skills and put it into Jack. So that was really fun, yeah.
Melanie, what do you like in an audition? What's the hardest thing about an audition? Is it really difficult, and do you get nervous?
Yeah,
All
very
these
nervous.
strangers staring at you?
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice, but I think the hardest thing would be just to go in there and not care, I think was always the hardest thing. And I've practiced that a lot, to go in and just say, this is what I have. And if it's not for you, then that's okay. But just be confident in what you have to offer. And that's what I did. And that got me Itch, because I went in there with, well, that got me Jack, sorry. I went, not you. And I went in there and felt really confident in who I thought Jack was, and it booked me the role. But when I was on Itch, they gave me one-on-one coaching with a taekwondo coach in Albany. So that was amazing. So my skills got better to do the fight scene.
Well, it was Lara on social media that asked about your karate skills. She also wants to know, Keala, do you play instruments? Was that the first time you'd had to play drums? 'Cause
Well,
you look pretty good, I've got to say.
Well, it was the first time I'd actually played drums. They gave me, I think, 1 or 2 lessons beforehand, which definitely helped a lot. But obviously out of Itch, I used to play violin for a very long time, and wow. And I also play clarinet, and I self-teach myself piano. So yeah.
Gee, so much talent here.
What was the rock actually made out of?
Do you know?
I think they just found a cool looking rock. The art department in the 10 days we were there before filming had a whole setup in our kind of headquarters where they had rocks out and they were trying to pick which was the best rock, and some had like bits of glitter on them and some were like painted with little streaks. And in the end, it just was a kind of cool looking rock. But what they did was they painted it with UV paint. So in the scenes where it glows in the dark, they had a UV light shining on it, so it glowed for real, which was really cool.
What is your favourite part about acting?
My favorite part about acting is to be able to tell a story and have that story move people and have people enjoy it, make them happy, make them laugh, make them sad, just to give someone something that's real, you know, a real emotional experience, and to get to be inside the story and actually be a part of it and tell that is so special. And when you get feedback from someone who's seen it and they enjoyed it, it's the most incredible feeling in the world. So yeah.
Mel, Keala, I'd love to hear your
That was a
answers.
great answer. Wow. Mine would be what I love most about it is that I get to explore different people's worlds and thoughts that are so different to my own. And I think that's really special to connect with another human being in that sense and understand and live through them. Is rare and special, and the fact that we get to call this our jobs is wild. And it's so cool.
Wow, how am I gonna? Yeah. Well, I love entertaining. It's just what I love to do. I think I like making people feel different emotions and being able to become different people and being able to experience what they live as. I feel like it's just an amazing feeling. Yeah.
Can you do your warm-up dance?
Yes, we can. No, we can't. Who's gonna step up to the plate?
Oh, no, come on. It's one in, all in. One in, all in. Come
Yes.
on.
I'm
Yeah,
off.
come on.
Okay. So we would do this before every scene to give us energy. We can't do it as a 3 though, so you guys can do it and then. Here we go.
Do you remember?
Yay, that's it.
So I actually don't know if this is acting or real life at the moment.
This is real life.
Remember, in, out. There we go.
There we go.
There it is.
Now they've got the wall. And they do that for hours.
So, very late on, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a very long ladder, and my character climbs up and down it, and I had to climb up and down this real life, like 20, 30 meter long ladder. I had to climb up and down it like 8 or 9 times on the last day of shooting, and that was the hardest scene because I was wrecked. I was so tired. My hands were like not happy with me. It was, yeah, and the camera was following me up and down the ladder. It was a time.
Yeah, Jack can relate. I had to go up and down this really steep hill on my little bike for like a good half an hour, and that was hard cardio, so that was tricky. But there was a scene actually that comes in episode 10 that was really hard as well, like emotionally. It was a very draining scene, and I wanted to give it justice, so I thought that was a really hard scene. So you have that to look forward to.
Oh, there is so much to look forward to. These are great little teasers that you're giving us. Was there something you found?
I mean, Chloe is eating in most of her scenes, so she doesn't really have anything too extreme, you know. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had to eat a bowl of cereal for about an hour, and I mean, at least it was good cereal, but.
I think my favourite scene, which is what you guys saw today, was the greenhouse scene where we're in there and everyone vomits because it's gross and funny, and it was a lot of fun to film because we were all completely laughing at each other when everyone had to fake vomit. So that was definitely a fun one. It was a lot of fun on the day.
What about you, Keala? Got a favourite?
I don't really have a favourite scene, but there were definitely some favourites of filming. Was definitely when Chloe was, sneaking around. No spoilers, but she was sneaking around somewhere, and that was fun for her to film.
I think my favourite scene is in the 7th episode. My character is on a bus, and he's sitting with an old lady. Yes. Who was played by an incredible actress named Davilia, who was very nice. And it's a very kind of reflective scene. It's not, big action, but my character goes on this kind of big monologue about what he wants to do with the rock. He doesn't know whether he should get rid of it or, take it to the authorities. He's in this big moral conflict, and he just has this conversation with this stranger, this old woman, and I just think it's beautiful. It's such a gorgeous scene, and the final line of that scene, for those of you who have seen it, was completely improvised by Davilia, and I think it lifts the scene so much. And yeah, every time I watch it, it just makes my heart tingle a little bit.
Each scene varied. What was nice about Jack's scenes was that they were nice and short and sharp, but a good, like, let's say 3 pages of dialogue in a scene would take me about 2 days, 1 to 2 days, to know inside and out. So overall, I think I was working on mine, though, for at least a month, surely, beforehand, to make sure everything was down. And I would learn the whole first block, episodes 1 to 5, in one hit, and then because we filmed sporadically. Sorry, that's false. We filmed sporadically, so sometimes we would film episode 6, then go to episode 2. So really, it was about making sure what was on the call sheet and making sure you were a good 2 weeks ahead of learning. So just staying on top of that. Each night was constantly in bed learning the script. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, so many lines. So I did what Mel did, and with the first half of the series, I really tried to learn it before I was there. And it was all right, and I kind of got there, and then we got the scripts for the second half, and I was like, nah, I can't do it. And so it would just be me pacing around my apartment the night before a scene, just like shouting my lines. There was 3 of us were all in like an apartment block together, and I'm fairly sure Charles, who plays Tim, heard me like shouting my lines every single night as he was trying to sleep, probably. It was tricky, but it's just, you got to do it. Sometimes it takes 20 minutes, sometimes it takes an hour and a half, you know.
What an interesting insight. I've got a final question. So does romance blossom between Tim and Jack and Itch and Lucy? Is it Lucy? Yeah. Okay.
I don't
think you've said
know.
enough. I think you've said enough.
Yeah, watch and find out.
I do want to find out. I saw the way they were looking at each other. What a delight it has been to have the 3 of you here, giving up your time. Congratulations on a job well done. It's a fantastic series. Please, I know you are itching to watch the other 8 episodes, and please tell your friends about it. Talk it up. We would love to see a series 2, and it's the audience, and I'm sure you'll agree, that often makes that happen. If you like it, if you watch it on ABC, watch it on iView, tell people about it, because that's what people look at, and we would love to see series 2. And what a fabulous insight you have given us into life as actors, and I have no doubt that you all 3 have such a bright future ahead of you. You are talented and you are absolutely delightful to talk to. And I've thoroughly enjoyed getting to know all 3 of you. Please give them all Mel, Sam and Keala.